as soon as all this stuff started to implode in the last week between Rogan and Whoopi Goldberg, I started seeing people bringing you back into the picture, and the difference between how you were treated back in the beginning of the cancel culture takeover of humanity and where we are now. And I reached out to you because I saw Tucker and Trump Jr. and a lot of people bringing up how you were treated back in the day, and that your apology didn't matter. And everyone's saying now, well, Whoopi apologized, so let's just get over it and move forward. Yet you not only apologized, but explained what was going through your head. They went right to the racist card, and suddenly you were painted as something you weren't. Nobody gave you a pass.
They were desperate to lie about what I said, desperate to paint a picture, which was a big lie. They're desperate to use me in a lie that, ruined my life, because it was like an explosion of my brain. It was just awful. What happened in Iran because of the Iran deal is exactly what's happening in America now. We are not to know about the American people, the taxpayers, the fund, the people who fund it. We are not to know what is happening with our money. We knew they were starting to crack down on free speech and free information in the internet. I'm like talking about what they did to the women of Iran with the Iran deal, which was to destroy the middle class of Iran, especially the merchants, especially the woman merchant, everything that's happening in our country right now, and which coincidentally is what the movie Planet of the Apes is actually about.
I know.
It's about the destruction of America. It's a movie about lockdown and the loss of all civil rights. Now comes the lockdown, and pretty soon it'll be women aren't allowed to learn to read or go to school. So anyway, here comes a picture, and it was a picture of Valerie Jarrett next to a picture of a character played by Helena Bonham Carter. Their haircut was similar. There was a similarity in the way she looked compared to this sci-fi character. What possible excuse could you have had for this tweet you had put out? And I said, well, I thought she was white. And that was the truth.
I know.
That was the truth. And they just go, they just choked. In 20 minutes from that phone call, they decided that I knew she was Black, and that my tweet was not political. It was not about the Muslim Brotherhood. It was about how Black people look. Because they dumbed it down to the dumbest dumbing down. It's like, I mean, it can't be any more stupid analysis of that fucking tweet. I had a fully integrated family.
And that was a problem, I think. I think it's a whole nother level.
That. Oh my God, they hated me for that. Are you kidding? They're critical race theorists. And they couldn't have a Jewish woman talking about race. That's how I look at it now. That's, I guess, where the hammer or the axe came down. It's like, because they always give me that stink eye, like, you know what it is. It's like, she owns the banks or something. I don't know what it is, but it's like the way they look at Jews. It's just frightening. It really is. And a lot of people don't know I'm Jewish. I was going to say this. They didn't know I was Jewish on the left. They didn't know I was Jewish, so I got to hear what they say. I heard a lot of what people really say about Jewish people. It ain't good. It's just like nothing. It's accepted.
I know.
Like, oh yeah. And I mean, talk about racism, and I just feel like it can't go on any longer without being identified. And the fact that it's being stoked for political aims right now in America, that's so sad. And it has to be talked about. It has to be dragged out and asked, why is this happening? What are we allowing here?
They don't want to cancel people. They want to destroy people from the inside out.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
And if you could talk about what this mentality and this gang culture of destruction and eliminating humans, it does to one's insides, because you went through a lot of pain.
They manufactured it all themselves because they canceled my show before even one sponsor pulled out. And the screaming went like this. Wanda Sykes, she was mad because she didn't get her contract picked up because, you know, she never showed up for work and she wasn't funny. Then Sarah Gilbert, she was the dagger in the heart. That was like the 1, 2, and then Sandra Bernhardt, 3. Everybody I had, you know, given a job to and given power to turned on me. They said, take that tweet down. I did for ABC. You know, a lot of fat good that did me. Can I get my show back? I mean, you're letting Whoopi back. Can I get my show back? I ain't got the stomach for what they did to me, and they all knew it was bullshit too. But, you know, ew, I just can't even imagine. But I'm not like them. And that's the thing that I've realized the last few years. I'm not like them. I wouldn't sell my friend out for money. I'm not like them. People are really brain dead where it comes to what they did to me, too. Look, they gave Whoopi a 2-week vacation, but look what they did to me.
Yeah, but people need to know they didn't cancel your show. They canceled you. It was your show, your life's work, your character. It came back. America was so excited to have you back in their living room. And then they kept the show and got rid of you. And then had killed your character.
They killed me, so
insane.
I can't ever work as that character.
I know.
They killed Roseanne Connor. They killed her. Whoopi gets 2 weeks off for saying the Holocaust was no big deal. It's just something white people did to other white people, which, oh my God, she should be ashamed of herself. Please take the name Goldberg off. Girl,
she's not ashamed of herself. She's mad that they're even questioning what she was saying. First of all, if one more person tells me she's Jewish, my head's going to explode. Her name is Karen Johnson. She's not Jewish. She was never Jewish. She talks about picking the name.
Well, I want to say something about it. I really do, because I have felt this all my life. And, you know, why I was excited to be on with you is that I feel like I've always been offended by Whoopi calling herself Whoopi Goldberg. Because, you know, it's Jew face. I've had this conversation with other Jewish people for 20 some years. First of all, it's beyond cultural appropriation, and then it's humiliation too. It's offensive to me as a Jew that she's not a Jew and that everybody thinks she is because she has a Jewish name. And anyway, she isn't Jewish. She's on the side of the same people who believe in critical race theory, and that's what she lets slip. She's sometimes she'll let the real her come out. I do find it offensive. I find it like blackface. We call it, I say Jew face, but you know, she's impersonating a Jewish person, and it's just not cool. And then she's the one sitting there leading these conversations about cultural appropriation. Hello? The episodes I did for my 10th season, they got like nominated for all these civil rights awards, you know, from all these college professors about breaking new grounds in civil rights movement. Now, how are they going to turn around and say that I said Black people look like monkeys? Yeah, I think I know a thing or two about anti-Semitism. I can smell it. I know the stink eye. I know what anti-Semite is. And I knew they all had that critical race theory going on. This is behind the scenes working at ABC. And I had to work with that. And if you have been around that and you know, and they look at you and know you're a Trump supporter, whoa, there's one of you and 900 of them. That was really hard. That was mentally tough because of all their assumptions and what they think it means, what they thought it meant to be a Trump supporter. First of all, that I am a racist, of course. That's given despite 30 years of work as, you know, of pretty much being in the forefront of civil rights, movements on television of all swipes. And they assume that I'm white. like WHOOPI does, like all adherents to critical race theory do. I was there when all this shit went down. I was there when I was there fighting with people when they were making Jews no longer identify as people of color and saying that we have to identify ourselves as being white, which that was the breaking of the tie between African Americans and American Jewry. That broke that tie, that voting block that we had had up till then. That broke it, that very subject, because they wanted they wanted us to be white, which means they wanted Jews to take the fall for what England did. And that is just like so Hitlerian. I don't care what effing color you are. If you don't know that about how the Arabs fought with and for Hitler, if you don't know that much and know how this stuff filtered down through Project Monarch and Paperclip and all the rest of it, if you don't know what anti-Semitism is, and I mean, my God, and it doesn't even occur to you. That's what gets me, is it doesn't even occur to them that they might be incorrect in labeling an entire people the way they feel that they are able to. It's so imperialist. I mean, it's the most imperialist thing I've ever heard of in my life, that you don't even question your gutter imperialism.
People still don't realize that it is a controlled narrative.
That it is about information and our right to it. It just won't be good if America loses the right to freedom of speech, whether by fear or by law or by pandemic. We can't let them do that. We cannot let them go that far. You know, you give them an inch, they take 20 miles, but they can't do it. We let them, over a word. Be careful, really use words as code words that bring violence. And people really need to let that get in there and think about it. And one of those is racist. That's a dog whistle word, and they've used it on me. You know, I'm praying a lot for our country, and I'm praying a lot as a Jew, and it's coming up Adar. Well, this is Adar, and this is the month of women and of increased joy. So I want to talk about that, because women who feel increased joy is the number one thing this planet needs more of. That's what we got to get busy on right away.